I am still here at the mall, leaving the parking structure. I just saw Spike Lee's new movie, Black KKK Man, BlacKKlansman. It was long. Um, the movie didn't really tell the half of it, you know. It didn't tell the half of it of what the KKK did. So it started. It's set in the 70s, and it was trying to show to me the similarities between the Black Power movement with the Black Panthers, Angela Davis, and the KKK with David Duke. I learned something I didn't know. I didn't know that David Duke was from Louisiana. That's something I didn't know. I thought the KKK started in, let me make sure the volume is up. Okay. I thought that the KKK started in Atlanta, in Georgia. So I had no idea that it started in Louisiana. Or at least David Duke is from Louisiana. The other thing that surprised me is the way that David Duke was and his aspirations and ambitions. I would have thought that he would have ran for public office or at least gotten a role in Trump's cabinet. Trump was in the movie. The movie ended with a picture of Heather Heyer, rest in power. And the people that were there at the movie, I talked to one Black family, older Black lady, and she said she felt like it was fake. And I was like, actually, Spike Lee didn't tell the half of it. Spike Lee didn't tell the half of it. Spike Lee didn't. He didn't even cover nothing as far as the KKK and their oppression of Dr. King and stuff like that. None of that was covered. Nothing was covered in that aspect. Had one Black person, Sidney Poitier, I think, not Sidney Poitier, but his scrotum, and how, this man said that he hid and was hoping that, they didn't catch him. And the premise of the movie with the Black undercover officer, Ron Stallworth, I mean, it was all right. It wasn't a good movie. It was a long movie. It didn't, tell the whole story. It was very... will I go see it again? Probably not. Will I get it on DVD? Probably. And that's because I just want to see the features and the making of the film and, things like that. The film very lightly. The one thing that they did do that caused everybody to clap in the movie is Ron Stallworth was able to get a bad cop removed from the force, and the guys who tried to, there was a bomb situation with the KKK where the KKK member used his wife to try to blow up the black Angela Davis like character who was also Ron Stallworth's girlfriend. She was unsuccessful, and the bomb ended up blowing up her husband and two of his cronies, a white criminal and a white dullard, basically. And uh, in the end, the Ron Stallworth, he, got the girl, I guess. And David Duke, of course, he wasn't stopped. Even in the movie, he was not stopped. Ron ended up telling him off, letting him know that he was a black guy and everything. There was a couple of times in the movie that were funny, but nothing memorable. The previews were better to me than the actual movie. There's a lot of good movies that are coming out. Uh, and like I say, the only thing that I thought was interesting is, here in Seattle, white people are pretty much oblivious to what happens with black people. There's even biracial couples that I know that don't discuss racism at all. Their relationship is mostly financial. And that's pretty much it, It's not so much, to me, here in Seattle, it's not so much of racism as it is just selfishness. Just people that are interested more in material things and being able to afford to, go on cruises and take vacations and go out to eat every night. They drink a lot of liquor here, strong liquor, and, get their drugs. That's what it's about here in Seattle. A lot of people do march a lot. There's a lot of runs, telethons to raise money, for the poor, but nothing really gets solved here. People go back to their regular life, and as long as it doesn't affect them, they don't really care. It's weird to me, which is what I said. I wasn't going to come see the movie, okay? And that's because Spike Lee is from Brooklyn. He's not from the South. He doesn't understand the South. He doesn't understand, and of course he couldn't put it in the movie. He could have put it in the movie how black people and white people, there is a way in the South that we work together for survival. And with the police force, it's a huge thing. That one thing that he doesn't even mention about is the insanity of being a police officer, being scared all the time, seeing the worst in people, and then what it's like other cops when there's a bad cop on force. Spike Lee didn't touch on that, not at all, not at all. The fact that another police officer goes out here and does something stupid, and he puts all the other cops in, a precarious position. What does that feel like? How do they really feel about a bad cop? Spike didn't really touch on that. You think that he would, even with the NYPD, since so many black people have been harassed and killed in Brooklyn, you think that Spike Lee would have covered that in the movie, but he didn't. Again, That's why I didn't want to go see this movie, because I know that Spike Lee does not have the experience of Southern Klansmen. That experience, you know, what is it, what happens when why white people join the Klan? That wasn't mentioned, you know, mentioned. A lot of what is a New York thing, blacks and Jews and the Klansmen, you know. KKK member had all this money to have all these here guns, and he got a home and a truck and a wife, and don't mention nothing about how. Where's he getting his money from? Where's he get all this artillery up in his house? You know, it's very disappointing. You know, if you've seen the movie, let me know what you think about it. What do you think about my review? I think that people should see it just to see what Spike Lee has done. Um, it was nothing like the Muhammad Ali movie. It wasn't nothing like even Malcolm X. You know, Spike Lee did Malcolm X, and I'm quite sure that there's quite a bit of that he left out. But again, I would know because I'm not from the area that Malcolm X grew up in. It was completely different, you know. The Southern experience, especially for a black person, is a completely different experience. The black experience in the South for a black woman is completely different. One of the reasons why I brought my sons from Texas is to try to avoid them being brutalized by police officers, you know. And I still ended up with a son that was dead. Would it have been different if he had been around some racist white cop who threatened his life and called him out of his name and stuff like that? I don't know. You know, I don't know. I never had that experience. Neither one of my sons were ever arrested and put in cuffs and things like that. Nothing like that ever happened to me. You know, with my son who was killed, he did have run-ins with police and stuff up here in the state of Washington. And his worst experience was with a police officer that my daughter-in-law knew. My daughter-in-law called the cops on my son, not some white person, you know, not some racist white person. His older brother's wife called the police, called her friend, and he beat the hell out of my kid. And she apologized to me, and you know, what's that gonna change? She called the police on my kid. That's what happened. So, what can I say? You know, life happens, and you know, this movie is just a movie. It's just entertainment. It's not groundbreaking. It wasn't inspiring. It wasn't eye-opening. It didn't give me any new information except that David Duke is from Louisiana. That's it. That's it. There was nothing awe-inspiring about this movie. You know, Get Out was inspiring to me, um, because it gave me a different point of view. It was a good story. That's um, you know, I really don't like Spike Lee movies. I really don't. I really don't. The best thing about this movie is there wasn't any sex. There was no sex. There was a lot of discussing about sex. This Klans member wanted to see the Jewish guy's penis, you know, Um, they didn't really talk about gay people. They didn't really talk about. I mean, the Klansman's wife. She was so depicted in such a horrible way, just a horrible way, and um, like I said, if you got $20 to spare, go and see the movie. Let me know what you think about it. Um, I just saw the movie, and I swear to God, I have forgotten most of it already because it wasn't anything that I could relate to or any of my experiences because I'm from the South. I'm from the South. When we were kids, the Klan would have parades in the hoods and everything. And we would be on the side of the road and we would wave at them because that's much a part of the culture that they were. I don't think that they're doing those. I don't think that they're doing those parades anymore. Even in Charlottesville last year, and probably today in DC, I doubt that the Klan will be in their hoods. Their full Klansman regalia. I doubt that they will be. But there was a time when they would. Even with Donald Trump in office, they're not wearing the hoods. They're not burning crosses. Spike Lee had it where, there was one guy that was really kind of like a joke. You can't take him seriously. He's big and stupid. And there was another guy that was called a loose cannon by another Klansman. And there was another guy there, and he was basically a criminal. He knew how to get the CO2 to blow up stuff, and it just... he didn't talk about any of the economical reasons why people join the Klan. They join the Klan for protection. They join the Klan so that they can have a community around them. They don't believe everything that the Klan says, but they feel unsafe. They feel like everybody else doesn't have to go through what they go through. That's because a lot of people won't put up with a lot of things that white people put up with from other white people. And white people put up with it, especially the poor ones. They do them so bad. And that's the reason why they join the Klan, so that they can be able to eat, so they can stay. Because white people in power will shut off your money. They will cut off your ability to be able to take care of your family. When Donald Trump was saying that he had Mitt Romney, if he would have told Mitt Romney to drop to his knees, Mitt Romney would have did that. But the audacity of another white man to say that he would make another white man do something like that, and they do. For them to be in Skull and Bones, that's white men pissing and shitting on other white men. Okay? That's the way that they treat each other. And when you're not in Skull and Bones, when you're not in the Klan, how you get treated at work. They get treated bad. They put up with it until, some of them, they snap. And they kill a whole pack of them. What happened in Las Vegas? There wasn't no black people in that. That white guy, he had money. He he did an act of cruelty and evil against his own people, innocent people, at the country and western um, country and western concert in Vegas on the street, minding their own business. He had money, he had the artillery, he was able to get a hotel room. They knew him at the hotel. Spike Lee, he did not, which I thought that what he could have, well, I guess the whole point of this movie was not a documentary on the Klan. What it was a movie about the black man who posed as a white man to become a part of the KKK to get information and, to stop them from terrorizing other people. Blacks, Jews, Arabs, they hate everybody except for white people. They hate everybody. So because his group and their work, they were able to stop a lot of terrorist attacks from happening to minority communities, businesses, and people, so the chief of police shut him down. Since nobody was being terrorized, nobody was being killed, then there was no reason to have the task force anymore. So he basically fired them, and he wanted to move Ron Stallworth to narcotics. So anyway, you have to go and see it for yourself. I only looked at it from my point of view and what I expected it to be. It was interesting to see Denzel Washington's son in the movie, to hear Denzel's voice coming out of someone who looks like Brenda, his wife, because his son doesn't really look like him. He looks like his mom, but the voice is his dad's. So that was weird and nice. The Jewish character, he on screen more than the black guy was. Oh God. Anyway, that was it. If you have the spare money, I say go see it. Maybe you'll have a different, come away with a different perspective than I have. I was disappointed in it. I knew I shouldn't go see it. I went early so I can get the matinee price. And that's it. It would have been great to have left out of there with the buoyancy that I felt coming from Black Panther. But I think mostly everybody left with it kind of like, like the older black woman that I talked to, she was like, I don't feel like it was realistic. Nobody came out of there going, oh, this was a good movie. Did people clap at the end of it? Yes, they did. Because he ended it with Heather, and she's white. He didn't show Trayvon Martin. He didn't show none of that. Heather is the only person that the Klan has killed in the past year that we know of. And she was a white lady. So that's it. Anyway, like, subscribe, hit the notification button. I'm going to do a lot more reviews, I think, for September. because there's a lot good movies coming out. So I'll review those. Most of the time I don't like going to the theater. I wait until the Blu-ray comes out and I get that because I like the extras, featurettes, interviews, the making of the movie, things like that. So anyway, that's it. I've been in that movie. I went to the movie. It started at 4:30. I went and got my ticket early at 1 o'clock. I went and got my movie. I went and got my ticket early at 1 o'clock. Came back, did research in my truck and stuff like that. Went in for the movie. It started at 4:30. I'm just getting out of the movie at 7 o'clock. And halfway through the movie, I wanted to leave because I'm just like, oh God, this is so not what I expected. It should have told more about this person, Ron Stallworth, more about his upbringing. He said as the movie was coming to an end, he always wanted to be a cop. Why? Was his dad a cop? What was his early experiences with police officers? What was the academy like for him? Dealing with the racism in that way. How did he get up the nerve to call the Klansmen? To call them on the phone and have a conversation with them? What was that like? What did he feel? Did he feel anxious? Did he feel nervous? Did he feel angry? How did he feel? What was his objective? What was he trying to do? These are the things that I want to know, that I feel like they will ask these questions and it'll be interviews on the Blu-ray where I'll get the answers to those questions, because they did not put that in the movie. Okay? That was not in the movie, not at all. I have been gone all day long from home. I can't wait to get in the house. I had to come out of my sweater. It was colder earlier today when I was at church, but by the time church was over, it had warmed up, so I took my sweater off. So, anyway, that's my review of the movie. Let me know what you think. Okay, talk to y'all later. Bye. I will not be back later on today. I don't think so. Okay, I'm tired. Okay. End it. Thank you.